This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. Verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 7 through 8, is that we're in the times now where all you're going to see is hunger, death, war, okay? Animals getting aggressive, because we're in a time of judgment. We're in a time where the Lord is visiting the earth, which he created. And what you see in front of your screen is just more evidence and proof of the time that we're living in, and how the people on this earth, they're going to continue to suffer. They're going to continue to mourn. All right? And this is all done through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, once again, to bring forth judgment. And we hear the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, starting with our apostles. All right? When we look at articles like this, we just know that the Lord's, judging the earth which he created. We know the Lord's visiting the earth which he created. And we know the Lord's going to, return, all right, when he comes with his chariots, so-called UFOs. So let's get into this article. World food prices jumped toward a record last month. World food prices. This is global. This isn't just an isolated country. This is global. Okay? Inflation has been running rampant across the globe, adding to the surging cost of living for consumers. Right? And this is going to cause war. This is going to cause sedition, among the people and their governments. This is going to cause civil war. Global food prices jumped toward a record last month, further adding to the surging cost of living for consumers. The United Nations Index of Prices rose 1.1% in January, pushed up by more expensive vegetable oils and dairy. The gauge is edging closer to 2011's all-time high, and unfavorable weather for crops and the fallout from an energy crisis threatened to keep prices high going forward. Right. So this isn't going to change. This is, all right, here to stay. All right. That's why you're going to see a lot of people going hungry, famine. That's why you're going to see a lot of death. All right. Look at this. World rushes aid to tsunami hit Tonga amid water and food shortage. All right. Almost 40% of Tigerians suffer extreme lack of food. So these are the times that we're in. All right. Let's go to, and who's causing all this? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts. All right, the Lord of armies. All right, so the angels are stirring up, these weather warfare onto the earth. Let me continue on. With thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Right. So the Lord commanded the angels, hey, send thunder, send earthquake. All right, send the storm onto these people that walk the earth. All right, send flames of divine fire. Right, look what happened in the West Coast. Okay, every time during the summer, there's always wildfires. All right, which causes heavy drought. All right. All right, might as well bring out this article. Snow shuts off in West as drought recovery hopes dim. Right. Okay, and when you have droughts, that causes famine. All right, when crops are destroyed, that causes famine for the people. And that's here in Babylon the Great. So you prideful Americans, you're not exempt. Seven. And the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, okay, or when you go into that Hebrew word Ariel, all right, it's Arayal, okay, Arayal, okay, Ariel. That's where you get Ariala, okay, which means what? Lion of the Most High, or lioness of the Most High, right? Lion of the Most High, okay. That's where you also get where Apostle Ariamlab, okay, Lionheart. So who does that represent? That represents the nation of Israel. So Isaiah 29:7, and the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, even all that fight against her, and her munitions, and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision. Right. That's why the Lord is bringing these, okay, food shortages, food insecurity, by commanding the angels, hey, hit this place with thunder, hit this place with earthquakes, all right, hit this place with storms and tempests, all right, send a drought, all right, burn up the crops, send wildfires, okay? Why? Because these heathens, starting with Esau, Edom, has been going to war against the Lord's people, and the Lord sees all this, all right? Let's go to this article right here. Climate change is now a national security priority for the Pentagon, right? And really what they're saying is, okay, because they're being blasphemous, they're saying that, all right, the Lord's judgment is a national security, all right, for the Pentagon, all right? Because who's causing all this? Once again, is the Lord. And they're not going to repent. That's why it says, let me get this, Revelation 16:9. I'll start at 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Okay? That's why you see a record-breaking heat waves, which causes dehydration, which causes people to die, all right, from heat exhaustion, okay? Which that's constantly happening every year. Also, once again, droughts, all right, to cause a heavy famine. 9. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of the Most High. Right. By calling it climate change. You're blaspheming the Lord. Okay. You should be saying this is the Lord judging us. Pentagon. Because why? Which had power over these plagues. Right. It's the Lord's plagues. Just like he plagued Egypt. That's another thing which you so-called Christians. All right. That claim to say that America was founded on Christian principles. All right. Why aren't you telling your government that the reason why all these weather catastrophes, all this, okay, so-called climate change, which is blaspheming, all right, the work of the Lord, why don't you say that, hey, you need to cut that out? That's the Lord doing it. But no, all right, because you're wicked too, all right? And plantation Christianity is through. And they repented, here we go, and they repented not to give him glory. Right, you didn't give the Lord glory. We give praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for doing stuff like this. Okay? For doing stuff like this. Because it's his judgment. And who's the first country that they reported that is in a food insecurity? All right? Afghanistan, all right? And who screwed up that country? America, Babylon. All right? Now they're in a food crisis. Thank Creepy Joe. All right? But once again, no one's giving glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai except his servants, the prophets. United Nations. more than 50 million worldwide hit by urban conflict, right? And a lot of this urban conflict has to do with, all right, food insecurity, okay, another nation invading them. Like, for example, look at the Middle East. Who's doing the drone bombings? America. Who's doing the airstrikes? If it ain't America with the drone bombings, or America, and America's doing airstrikes too. You have the 1948ers, okay? Then you got the Russians. You got all these major superpowers just, all right, bombing, okay, people, which is, it's just creating more havoc and turmoil. And that's why you have 50 million worldwide hit by urban conflict. And who's in the power seat? Who's managing the earth? Who is, okay, allowing this shit to happen? Esau, because he's the devil. All right, he ain't acknowledging the Lord. All right, and the Lord's the one bringing this judgment, and he ain't acknowledging it. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 1. Woe be unto thee, meaning death and destruction be unto thee, Babylon, Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. 2. Gird up yourself with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Right. And that's the reason why you see what's the condition, okay, that the world is in. All right. That's why I read, let's read it again. Revelation chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, and I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And that's what's happening now. And it's only going to get worse. You're going to see more food insecurity. You're going to see more people fighting amongst each other, fighting their government. Okay? You're going to see more tsunamis, more hurricanes, more wildfires, more floods, okay? More earthquakes. A big earthquake is coming to Babylon the Great, all right? A big earthquake. And these are the times, because this is the Lord judging the earth which he created. I want to bring this out as well. 2nd Esdras 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. 38. And when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. And that's where we're at. These birth pains, these contractions, and it's getting harder, okay, and stronger, because this is all right, the beginning of the Lord visiting the earth. And then he's going to actually visit when he comes into our realm with the spaceships, so-called UFOs. 39. And even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon earth. Right, and the plagues are not slack. You clearly see it. These articles prove it. And the world shall mourn. And these are the times we're in. The world is mourning. And sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Every side. So there's no escaping. Okay? There is no escaping the Lord's wrath, the Lord's plagues. All right? Verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Who are the Lord's people? The nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. All right? As well as the Israelite foreigners that are scattered among the nations that may even look like the other nations. Because we were scattered. Okay? That was part of the curses. We'd be scattered, okay, among the heathen. All right? And catch hell while we're in captivity among these heathen. Hear my word. Right, hear the word. Okay, and the prophets are bringing out the word. That's why we're going and reading the verses. These are the Lord's words. Make you ready to thy battle. Make you ready to thy battle, right, in the mind. When you see all this, you should be ready. You should be conditioned in the mind for the battle. All right? And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Right, so you already should have it in your mind that when the time comes, all right, we're going to be literally pilgrims on earth. All right? Just moving. Okay? So wherever you at, you have to have that in your mind. Because when shit hits the fan, when, okay, the food trucks stop moving, when the military troops start, entering in the cities and the ghettos and the barrios and the rural areas and the suburban areas, you need to be, okay, your mind needs to be ready to move, all right? Be pilgrims upon the earth. And it starts right now in the mind. That's why we're doing this. We're preparing our mind. That's why why did the Lord constantly push to us, all right, that he that shall endure unto the end shall be saved. You got to endure through all this, okay? Second Esdras 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, and these are the indicators the end is manifest. All we're waiting on is Jacob's trouble, all right? The digital all MOTB. That's why the apostles always push, hey, watch that economy, watch the financial system, because they're building this whole new financial system right before your very eyes. That's how we know we're at the end, because they're creating the system for the MOTB to be, okay, activated, to be working on a global level. 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Right? The signs. Can't you see these are the signs? 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Right? Because if you believe, okay, in the words of the Lord, you believe, okay, that we're at the end, you're going to do the works of the Lord. Okay? Because that belief shows you have faith. You're going to push out his videos. You're going to go on the highways and byways. All right, you're going to follow his law, statutes, commandments to the best ability, ones that you can keep, like grow a beard, don't eat pork, don't eat shrimp, don't commit adultery, stop coveting other neighbors, okay? Your neighbors, excuse me. Worship one power, all right? Call upon his name, his Hebrew name. His name is not Jesus. 8. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Right, and that's what's so beautiful about this truth. The Lord already has a predestined elect to be saved. All right, and that's why you should just go hard, man. Put on as the elect. All right, make your calling election sure. 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Right, and you wicked jakes, or start with those that know that they're Israelites, okay? You're going to be judged, man, for your wickedness, all right? Because your pride, you're proudful, your pride, all right, has, all right, pushed you in a way that you don't care about what the Lord has to say. So now you have to be judged harshly. And now that gives me, and I'll close out with this, the coming cannibalism with you jakes. Because this famine is going to hit your bellies. Jeremiah 19:3. And say, hear ye the word of the Lord, O you kings of Judah, inhabitants of Jerusalem. Right, it's talking to the nation of Israel. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, the God of Israel. The God of Israel. This is exclusive. This Bible is exclusive. It's strictly for the Israelites. Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth, his ears shall tingle. 4. Because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other gods. Right, worshiping idols. Still worshiping, okay, plantation Christianity. Or worshiping Muslim madness. Or an atheist, or hip-hop, or just madness. Those are other gods. All right? Whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of the innocents. Right? And that's why y'all hate us, man. All right? Because we bringing out the truth and you don't like it. Okay? And all we're doing is bringing out the words of the Lord. And y'all time and time again always hurt the prophets. Always, okay, wanted to kill the prophets. 5. They have built also the high places of Baal to burn their sons. What's a good example with that? Abortion. All right? And the two groups of women that do the most abortion, statistics, just do the statistics, is the so-called black woman and the so-called Hispanic woman. You kill your babies the most. Yet you want to preach, all right, no justice, no peace. You want to talk about Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter, but you kill your children the most. You women of our nation are hypocrites, man. All right? To burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I command not, nor spake it, neither commanded in my mind. 6. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. And that's what's coming to our people, the valley of slaughter. All right? All hell is going to break loose. All right? All hell is going to break loose. 7. And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, right? Jacob's trouble. That troop, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man coming with his military, and by the hands of them that seek their lives, and their carcasses will I give to be meat up for the fowls of the heaven and for the beasts of the earth, right? And Esau is going to come in as a flood. Esau is going to move in when you least expect it, all right? Just want to throw, some edification, all right? I was ex-military when I was in Iraq. Do you know how we invaded cities? Shut the fucking power off, all right? Then move in. And you got to sleep. You got to take a shit. That's how Esau's going to move. Okay? That's why we need the Lord, to lift up that standard. 9. And I will make this city desolate and a hissing, and everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished in this hiss, because of all the plagues thereof. 9. Here's the point. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one of the flesh of his friend in the siege and straiten it. That's another thing that these Edomites are going to do, okay? And they have been doing, even in this war in the Middle East. Cut the food supply. Starve your enemy out, okay? Starve your enemy out. And you, Jakes, okay, you have nothing. So when they cut the food supply, you will result into cannibalism for not seeking the Lord. We're with their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straiten them. 10. Then shalt thou break the bottle in the sight of men that go with thee. 11. And shall say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, even so will I break this people and this city. Right, the Lord's going to break you wicked Jakes, man. Okay? Just like he's breaking these heathens, man. As one breaketh a potter's vessel that cannot be made whole again, and they shall bury them in Tophet, till there be no place to bury. 12. Thus will I do unto this place, saith the Lord, and the inhabitants thereof, and even make this city as Tophet. 13. And the houses of Jerusalem and the house of the king of Judah shall be defiled as a place of Tophet, because all the houses upon whose roofs they have burned incense unto all the hosts of heaven, and have poured out drink offerings unto other gods. Right, worshiping idols once again. See, the Lord explains why he's going to bring famine, why he's going to bring the sword upon our people, because they're into idol worshiping, all right? They worship many gods. 14. Then came Jeremiah from Tophet, whether the Lord had sent him to prophesy, and he stood in the court of the Lord's house and said to all the people. 15. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring upon this city and upon all her towns all the evil that I have pronounced against it, because they have hardened their necks, that they might not hear my words. And that's really what it is. You're hardening your necks against the prophets. Okay, just like you were doing when Jeremiah, okay, was speaking for the Lord. You hardened your necks. You didn't want to obey the prophets. You didn't want to listen to what they had to say. And because the prophets are coming in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, they're bringing out the words of the Lord, saying, hey, repent, because the Lord is going to jack you up. But no, you harden your necks. Okay, you didn't want to hear the words of the Lord that the prophets was just, okay, bringing out. So you will result into cannibalism. This famine's coming. You will result into killing each other, all right, for food, all right? And this is all done through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, because judgment needs to happen for those that do not want to repent. All right? And for you heathens, you're through. Just get ready to see it get worse from here on out. All right? Just get ready to see here on out worse. All right, climate change is going to be an uptick. Hey, your Pentagon said here in Babylon the Great, it's a national security. All right? Get ready to see more droughts. All right? Get ready to see more urban conflicts. Okay? And once again, it's not stopping. It's not stopping. We are in the last days. We are the final generation. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. As you can see, we're almost out of here. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing, fighting. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles. Okay? For the few sisters that are watching, keep studying, keep praying. Pray with your head covered. When you do pray, shalom and abad with ball shalom.